Hello,
Hey
how is
guys.
everybody? We hope we have a few people here today because we're fixing to talk about a pretty serious subject. And Kathy, I'm glad to see you with us. We're going to hold off here a couple minutes to maybe we can get a few people in here. Um, I understand that your sister died, and we're sure sorry to hear that. COVID is no joke,
So
and it's
sorry.
not a joking matter. Um, what we're going to talk about tonight is that we had COVID. Me and Meddena both tested positive for COVID. I started having it first. I am vaccinated, but I do not have my booster shot. I took the J&J vaccine, and Meddena can't take the shot because of some medical issues. So um, I basically the symptoms I had was I had a um, body aches all my body, just like I had the flu, and I had a real bad headache for about 2 days, 2.5 days. But that was it. I had a stuffy nose, and I still got a stuffy nose, but I think that's just sinuses. Hello, Rayleigh and Globe Master. Good to see you. Um, we're gonna try something tonight. Excuse me. I was first had COVID and the symptoms of COVID. It's been about 12 days for me. The only thing me and her are pretty much asymptomatic now. We haven't had any symptoms in probably a week. Medina, her symptoms while she had COVID was that it was more like a light flu, case of flu.
Yeah.
Um,
I had the body aches. It felt like the flu is what it felt like. I had the body aches and everything, but I did test positive for COVID.
yeah, and I did too. So our what we want to talk about a little bit tonight was the fact that what do you do when you're traveling full time in an RV together and one of you gets sick?
And you're 450 square feet,
Yeah,
but you can get away.
you cannot keep from getting sick. The other person's going to get it. If it doesn't
Unless their
matter.
immune system's really good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have flu or if it's some other type of thing, because when I started getting sick from it, uh, excuse me, when I started getting sick from it, you know, she was having to she cooked or take medicine to me or whatever, and going in there, we're just talking about no space at all, 15 feet, which it wasn't long till she got it, and so if you can pretty much say you're going to get it, whatever they got, you're going to get it in the RV. Now, what I like about being full time, hello, Maddie. What I like about being full
Hey,
time
Maddie, I will. He's really sick with COVID. I'm sorry, Maddie.
is that you can isolate yourself in the RV as far as from the outside world. We drove down from Tennessee, and when we were sick, we were in Tennessee, and the only problem was I was having. Lucky enough, we wasn't bad at the same time
Yeah.
because one of us still were able to do with the dogs, take the dogs outside to use the bathroom and stuff. So, but it was cold up there and rainy and wet. It just didn't.
It was, well, the snowstorm, I mean, the ice storm was coming.
Yeah, ice, and we had a snow up there while we were there. Um, we drove down to Gulf Shores area, and we're parked in an RV park. And she tested again, even though she doesn't have any symptoms right now. She tested again.
I tested on Friday because one of the reasons we came was because one of the young ladies that used to stay at our house, babysit and stuff like that, has had a baby shower yesterday, and I wanted to go to her baby shower, but I tested positive on Friday, so I didn't go.
Yeah, she's still testing positive. The one thing I hate that is carried on is I've lost my sense of taste.
Yeah.
I can't taste things. Everything tastes different to me now. Um, I used to, and I hope it corrects itself, but I would drink these root beer zeros that had no sugar in them to help me, when I wanted something to drink, and I loved them. They taste just like the same. Right now, I have no taste to me. I've just, I've got them. I told her, I said, I can't even drink this thing. It just doesn't taste good. Doesn't even have a taste.
I told him since we
And
can't taste anything, why don't we quit eating for a week?
yeah, she cooked lasagna tonight, and it was, I couldn't tell. I couldn't taste it. Rayleigh, good seeing you. Yes, we enjoyed that area. That we still have those people over in the Albertville area. Actually, or we have our cousins that live over there still. Um, tonight, we did want to talk about COVID and how we really have no way of escaping it. And I'm going to take a COVID test right in front of
Yeah,
you
well,
here,
we to do the swirling.
and you'll get an idea of what we do. Now, this is the test that we bought. There, this is
We bought it at CVS, and I got two of them, 2 boxes for $39 because I signed up for their premium something that they give you
there's
$10 a
two
month.
tests in one box, but now they're Biden's supposed to give us 500 million tests, but so far I haven't seen any of that 500 million.
Okay.
All right, now this is what we don't have to stick it way up your nose to test it. You just stick it right. They say about 3/4 of an inch up
But
your
you gotta
nose,
really do it
but
around.
you do it each nostril has to be very, very, very around in the nostril. Have to do
I don't think you're going up there far enough. You better scoot that
three
thing on up.
quarters inch. I got
I
it
don't
up
think
there.
you're up there. Your nose is big.
Huh?
Your nose is big. You got to stick it way up there. All right.
Okay. Now put this down in here
I don't think they can see
and
that.
squeeze it.
All right. There
You
you
put it in the bottle and you squeeze it and twirl it around and you leave it in
3 or
there
4.
for 1 minute, right?
Ready? Go. All right. So we're going to leave it
We'll
in
leave
there
that
for 1
in
minute.
there for 1 minute, and we're not going to show you our faces here because we're going to show you how this goes. But that will stay in there for 1 minute in that liquid that they provide, and then after 1 minute, we'll put the testing strip down in that for 10 minutes, and then while it sits there for 10 minutes, then we'll talk to you about various things. But
look how slow a minute is.
you don't realize how much time a minute is, or 10 minutes especially, until you start doing it. Now, they've got pretty good directions in these things. They're pretty good. However, I'm wondering, did I do my left nose as good as my right nose? I'm wondering
you should have let me do it. I stuck it on up in there.
Yeah, you'd have got probably done my brain.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, now
No,
go ahead.
Way.
It's all right. That's 1 minute. Now I take this out.
Okay, but wait a minute. Watch out. No.
I don't do it.
No. See, you didn't read the instructions.
Okay.
You're supposed to twirl it coming up, trying to get all the liquid out of there. Good Lord, boy. What is wrong with you? Okay.
Okay.
So now we're ready to throw that away. And then we have the testing strip. And you can see, you hold it up here. And it says put it down in there like that. You make sure it's in there. Reset and start. Okay. Now we're going to.
That's for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. What I'm hoping that it does is show a negative test result so that I can go out in public and see my friends and stuff while we're down here in Gulf Shores.
Rayleigh said he lost 27 pounds in March when he had it. His wife got it 3 days later, and they were full-time in an RV too. Yep.
Yeah, there's no escaping. We had two friends that had it. One had it, and he was in a coma for 50 days. 50 days. And the other one got it, and
he's finally come home yesterday.
Yeah, he stayed in the hospital on oxygen for 9 days, and he's finally been able to come home.
Yeah, this is not a laughing matter.
It is not a laughing matter. It's not a joke.
Okay, let's talk about I had called my doctor before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, because I had a sinus infection, and she called me a Z-Pack. I took the Z-Pack, and then that felt better by Christmas. I still had the little bit of drainage and stuff, but anyway, New Year's Day, I got sick, and so Tommy tested me, and yes, it was No, Maddie, it's not a pregnancy test. Anyway, yeah, that's right. It's like a
It's
pregnancy
like a
test.
pregnancy
Okay,
test.
so anyway, we called the doctor on Monday, and our doctor, when I called him and said, "Look, we both tested positive for COVID," they said, "Hang on a minute, let's work with one of you at a time." They asked, "When did your symptoms start? When did you test positive? What were your symptoms? And how are you feeling now?" And then she proceeded to say, "I'm going to call you in an inhaler, steroid pills, and a Z pack. And you need to take your vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D." And then she got Tommy's information. And so the reason I'm telling you this is because I have a cousin who got COVID at Christmas, and he and I've been talking, and he said that he called his doctor, and they said, "No, we're not going to call you in anything. Just up your zinc, your vitamin D, and your vitamin C. We're not going to give you anything because it's not going to help." I
You know,
disagree.
that I'm just thank God that we got a
Yeah.
doctor that really is on top of things. We've been seeing her for probably 20 years, and she's just incredible. And the fact is that we can call in and get medicine like that. It just
Okay.
makes it. Hello, Jukes. How you
This
doing?
is the vitamin C that I get. 3 pounds. It is a powder. I'd use a half a tablespoon of vitamin C, and I usually put it in water or orange juice, stir it up, let it sit a little bit, and then it dissolves. I get this from Amazon, and it's like 30, anywhere from $32 to $50, depending on who's got it. But that stuff is really good. Vitamin C is really good, and I take it every night, even when I'm not sick.
Lay that on that when it comes out.
Okay.
But it is no joke. But what I've seen about COVID and what we've seen on our friends that have had COVID, we've had friends that had COVID that it did absolutely nothing to them. They never knew they had COVID, and that's it. And then we had friends that are like this other friend that went in the hospital for it, and he was in a coma for 50 days before he got out. 50 days he was in a coma.
So we're not
And so
taking
we're
this
not
lightly.
taking this very lightly at all.
And y'all know I'm claustrophobic. I have a hard time wearing a mask. And so I have not gone anywhere that I didn't have a mask on. I'm staying away from people. Even with a mask on, I'm trying to stay 6 feet away. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it's
really,
serious.
yeah, and I see, Riley, you said something about ibuprofen. I've been told not to take ibuprofen because it could potentially cause COVID to get worse. That's what I've heard. I've read
Maddie's
anyway.
father in law died.
And I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for people that have had death in the family. That's not what this RV. I mean, about this show tonight's about. We want to discuss how we got COVID and how we were felt. We were trapped in here together because that is the way. It's too small for us to isolate from each other. If this not been COVID and this been the flu, she would have got the flu because she would have been in here together. It's just when you get sick, the other person's gonna get it. That amounts to. And when you're in an RV traveling like we are full time, and I believe we say we had somebody else here full
Rayleigh.
time, Riley. When you're full time, then we were fortunate enough to be at our in-laws where we had a little bit of leeway. But if we would have been down here at the RV park when we were full blown COVID, then you got to stay away from people down in this area. We still have to deal with our dogs. Uh, it's just a little
Well,
you know
it's Rayleigh. Rayleigh, I'm assuming that y'all probably being in the RV, you probably do like me. After there's been a sickness, I mean, even at daytime
stop.
right now, we are we're trying to keep the windows open. Um,
Wait a minute, we got our timer messed up here. Okay,
okay.
we got 4 minutes to take it out.
Anyway, I open the windows. I wash the sheets every other day. Just trying to keep it, aired out.
See, the one thing about when we had COVID this last week here, we never had a fever. The two things you really got to watch when you get COVID, the way I understand it, is you can't, if you start getting a very, very high fever or you can't breathe, those are really serious complications that you need to go to the hospital for. We called our doctor. She sent me a inhaler, even though I told her I wasn't going to need it, and I haven't used it yet. Um,
Yeah, if y'all listen, if you don't have a
mhm.
good doctor, get you a good doctor because I still can't believe my cousin. It's him, his wife, and their three children all tested positive for COVID. Their children are teenagers or in their early 20s, and they call
We keep
the
having to
20
watch
year
our
old
clock.
the 22-year-old called the doctor, his doctor. His wife called her doctor, and Craig called his doctor, and they all three up there in the Atlanta area said, "Nope, we're not giving you anything. It don't do any good." And I disagree. That's
Yeah, I
just me.
know that what we were prescribed was Z-Pack and steroids, and then we take zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D. And of course, I had a headache for like 2.5 days, so I had a bad headache. Regular Tylenol and stuff like that didn't affect me. So I was fortunate that I take some pain pill, narcotic pills for my back, pain in my back, and I don't take a whole lot of it every day, but I had some there to help fight off this a lot of the pain from me, my head. So, and I never had a fever, and I stayed in bed a whole day, day and a half, but I never had a fever. Only thing I can say, I do have, I'm tired. I do have some tiredness from it, and like I said, I have my taste buds are totally screwed up, and sense of smell also,
Hey,
but taste buds are.
I have an idea.
What?
Since they're messed up right now, why don't you start eating hot sauce? You would
No.
taste that.
Why? Why should I
It makes
punish
you feel
myself?
good. No, it'll
Yeah.
open you up.
But now, and her taste buds the same way. And before, when I didn't have COVID, before when I heard about people losing their taste, I was kind of like, yeah, how can that be? How can you lose all your taste? But it's definitely it. I can still taste some stuff, but it has totally changed everything. It makes eating supper not enjoyable.
Do y'all have any questions?
I mean, I'm wondering if I'm going to test positive tonight. If I do, then it's just a hangover from having it. It might,
But
it doesn't mean that I'm still sick because I'm not really sick.
but you know what they said on the news? They said that the test, some of them, you may test positive for 12 weeks. I just
Mm.
can't imagine that. Um, Testing positive for 12 weeks. And they said that 90% of the COVID cases today are 90 to 95% of the Omicron,
And that's what we feel
which
like
is a
we
good thing,
had.
right?
Well, yeah, I guess
Because they,
some people have worse cases of it. It still is, they can have severe. They can even die from Omicron. The one thing um, is that I hope that when I test, it's been 10 minutes now.
yep.
We're gonna take it out and lay it here on the table, and I'm gonna see what it says if I'm positive or negative. I'm negative. No, it should be turned around, isn't it? So blue's on top.
I know. Hold on. Look, it is. Oh, it helps if you get the right. Give me the one I can read. This one's in a foreign language. That's funny.
Has to lay it down flat.
Okay. Okay. Look. Mm. So remove from 10 minutes. All
Lay it
right.
flat.
Check one. You've got a single blue line. A positive result must show both blue and pink.
So I tested negative tonight. That's great.
You're negative.
And
Yep.
that
Look.
see here, this, and I don't know if you can see that. You
No,
can hold it up to right there, maybe. Um,
can you?
I don't know if you can see it, but it's a one. It's a little blue line there. That means I'm negative. I'm
He's
negative COVID.
negative.
And
Yay!
but that it makes sense because I have not had any symptom since it's been 9 days. So
So
right
do you think
now
I'm negative?
you could be negative now. You could be.
That would be awesome.
But I know this because I had been vaccinated, and now that I've had COVID again, then
When you say again, tell them why you say it.
because here's why I say again. Back in March
January
or January of 2020,
20.
I got very sick,
To the point of almost having to be in the hospital.
right, I was very sick, and I went to what we call a doc in the box. It's emergency care doctor, and
And this was weeks before
I couldn't
COVID.
sit up. I couldn't even sit up. I was feeling so bad. They sticking things in my nose, and she said, "You got type A and B flu or something like that." So I went home. They gave me some medicine. I waited about 2 weeks of that, and I got better. A week later, I got sick again, real bad, and it was upper upper chest. Had a fever. I had chills. I had body aches.
He didn't get out of bed
I
for
didn't
10
even
days.
eat like for 4 days hardly. Just drank Gatorade. The doctor said she believes it was an early case of COVID at that time.
And I got it for 3 days.
She got it for 3 days after that. But now, yeah, the flu too is no joke. And in fact, I'm getting a flu shot as soon as I can, probably while I'm down here. Um, but when this happened, my daughter calls me and she says, "Dad, when you tested positive for COVID, did you freak out?" And I said, "Yeah, well, maybe a little bit, but I knew I wasn't feeling that bad. I had a headache, pretty bad headache, and I had body aches. I mean, my joints hurt. Every joint in my body hurt. It was like I had the flu, that body aches. But and I had a bad headache, and my head was stopped up. In fact, my head is still stopped up. I don't know if that's.
Let's see.
I think it's.
No, can't see.
Uh, that's. I think it's just mostly sinus. I'm chronic sinus issues. Have to take Claritin every day, but this stuff is nothing to fool with. It is very serious. Very
If you
serious.
get to where you cannot breathe and you have a
If
high
yes,
temperature,
if you
please
got
go to the
that,
emergency room.
our friend that really healthy guy, strong, very healthy, uh, got it, and he refused to go to the doctor.
Lost 30 pounds in a week.
Right, lost 30 pounds a week. Got exceptionally high fever and got to where he couldn't breathe. And finally, they carried him to the emergency room, and they put him in the hospital, put him on oxygen. They didn't have to put him on a vent, and they gave him fluids. He was dehydrated, and he stayed in the hospital for about a week or more.
Yeah.
And
he was in the hospital
I
2 weeks.
lost
Baby.
30 pounds and just now getting out. So it's nothing to fool around with for sure. But here's the positive note is this. They've came out and said this may be the thing that beats the COVID is that with 90, the fact that everybody's getting sick with Omicron, and when you get well, your antibodies are way up there. So it's going to, in fact, maybe beat the pandemic down. I'm hoping that we don't look at this thing as every year thing, just like the flu.
Yeah.
Every year, well, this COVID season, I hope not. And, I personally think this came out of a lab. I don't think this came out of a bat or something because the Chinese and the Vietnamese people over there, they've been eating that stuff for thousands of years. So,
Yep, it's a step towards herd immunity. You're
that's right.
And that's what I'm looking for.
Right. And,
that's Maggie drinking, if y'all hear that.
Yeah, if you hear that.
Good Lord.
Maggie.
And she's been chewing on her bone.
Yeah,
she's
she got
thirsty.
lots of salt in that bone. But we've been out. We went out yesterday and we went hiking in Blakely battlefield up in Blakely, and there were people out there, but they were 100 feet away from us at the very least. We haven't been in a crowd. We haven't been around people. We are masked. We wear an N95 mask. Both of us do, and I've been very, very cautious because I don't want to. If I'm negative, that's great, but still, if I go out today to say I'll go to the grocery store later on, I'm going to wear a mask, just for the simple fact that with everything so crazy with that stuff right now, why take a chance? Why take a chance?
Yeah, they say it'll never go away. You're right. I don't think so. And I think that unfortunately for us, there are people who are working on more viruses in labs all across the world. And it's inevitable that it's something we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm just proud. You may want to take a test now. Do you want to do one right now, or?
No, it's okay. You don't want to, this doesn't need to go that
Well, I
long.
mean, we can do it afterwards. But it does feel good to know that I'm negative for COVID today. So I knew that I was probably negative for the fact that that I haven't really had a symptom for 9 days, and that's something that I was a little bit mixed up on what the CDC was saying. They were saying after 5 days you can
5 days of no symptoms, you can go out.
you can go out, but that I would have liked to say 5 days of no symptoms plus a negative test.
But anyway, we're glad y'all joined us.
We're glad you joined us, and it's just a simple fact that it doesn't matter if you got COVID, you got the flu, you got a real bad something, anything's contagious. If you do it inside an RV, if you live inside an RV with another person, then you're probably going to get that, unless you have a super high immune system or whatever.
But we've got some neat videos coming up. We've got the Blakely State Park where we went. We've also got
It's a ghost town there,
Yeah.
and
I did a video tonight on how to make a bed in the RV, how hard it is.
and then we got the review on this park here, and we're really trying to boost this channel. We hope if you're not a subscriber that you will come and subscribe, and hey, check us out for a little bit. If you don't like us, you don't have to stay, but we would love for you to stay.
And tomorrow night is a very special night. It's so special that we won't be online.
No.
Because we're going to watch Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
And we're huge Alabama fans.
Yes, we are. We love our Alabama team.
That's where we'll be. The Red Bay experience. Well, we did make a video on that, on the Red Bay experience. We did make a video, but I'm going to just tell you, it was a little eye-opening because, you pull over there at Red Bay. There's several RV parks, $25 a night, and it's great, but they're basically just parking lots, gravel parking lots, full hookups, and it's nice. But when you pull in, you got to wait 3 days. No,
3 or more.
They're not going to get you in before 3 days.
Yeah.
That's just, they told us that before we even got over there, and it was actually 5 days before we ever got in. And then they put us in Express Bay, and 2 guys worked on our coach, and they solved it in 3 hours totally. And it was great. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that really opened our eyes was we met so many people over there, and most of these RVs were like brand spanking new.
Yeah.
One guy had 108 corrections to have done
on a brand new RV.
A brand new Tiffin, 108.
It'd been in the shop 5 weeks. He got it, drove it home. 3 days later, called.
And then the other one we met had 88 and had been there 5 weeks. So, I'm just wondering that, that's one reason why we probably would never buy a brand new RV. We want to get all the kinks worked out, and they do depreciate right off the bat.
Well, and our RV is one of the years that everybody
They
wants.
actually have an appointment system. That's the thing. When you pull over there, they were running that day when we first got there. They told us there were 18 RVs ahead of us. 18. But they said the least amount of time you'd be there is 3 days. Now, they said you can do this. You can go over there. You have to go over there. You just can't call. You can go over there, and they will set you up an approximate day, and you can leave and go somewhere. You can travel. You can go for a couple of days. But the problem with that is if you leave and they do get an opening for you, and you're not there, you're going to be booted back. So,
Okay.
you know.
Now, I would like to say the thing that I did not like about Red Bay was with our warranty needs to have an estimate. And they do not give estimates at Tiffin at Red Bay. So
Yeah.
you don't get an estimate. And our warranty company said, well, let's, see how we can work this out. Well,
They didn't.
They didn't.
We ended up, our bill was like
$800.
$800, which wasn't bad because I'll tell you, they replaced 3 blinds, repaired or replaced the 3 blinds, pulled down blinds. They put us a brand new toilet in.
Yeah.
They fixed the door in the back bath. They replaced a USB plug in the front.
They fixed
They
cabinets.
put a new fan up here in the very front too. They fixed a cabinet door over here, and
a cabinet shelf down there.
A shelf, and they repaired a open latch on the front screen door. A lot of little things we had. The only thing that I've experienced a little bit of issue when I got down here was I've got 3 or 4 things on my dash that all of a sudden have went out. Like my fan switch went out, my radio switch went out, and my map light switch went out all at the same time. So that tells me something is maybe a fuse, but I kind of doubt 3 would go at one time. So Monday I'm gonna call them. They're good about at least getting on the phone and helping you work through things at Tiffin. The only problem is if you go to Tiffin and you do this express bay, you got to wait 90 days before you can come back. That's right, it is 90 days before you can come back and do the express bay again. So, but we love Tiffin. I tell you what,
we are very.
We have it's a 2004. I'm sorry, 2014.
2014.
Yeah, I was thinking of something else. QBH Tiffin, 2014.
Yes. And we had a Fleetwood Providence before this, and we loved our Fleetwood. We had it for 7 years. It was awesome. We sold it. Once we had bought the Providence, we knew eventually we wanted a Tiffin. We knew we wanted this year. We knew what we wanted. The difference between the Fleetwood Providence, and this one just sounds and drives more solid.
And the engine is a Cummins engine, and it seems like it has a little bit more. It is 60 horsepower more, and the Cummins to me has got a lot more power to it. And going up hills, you don't, the other one seemed like the Caterpillar just did not have the power of the Tiffin. Also, we love our heated floors in this thing.
Gosh.
I knew I wanted heated floors. She was kind of on the fence on where she wanted them. But you can do this. Say it's 30 degrees outside or even 25. You don't even have to operate the heater in the
Just
RV. Turn the floors on.
And the fireplace.
And it'll heat the whole place up.
In fact, a lot of times we have to turn it off because it's too hot. It may be 38 degrees outside and it's too hot in here with the floors on. But
it's nice to get out of bed in the morning and you got warm floors. It really, really does.
Yeah, it is.
If I ever buy another one, that's a must have for me. In fact, I told her if we ever bought another house, and it's in anywhere that it really gets cold, I think I would have heated floors.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna buy a house.
Probably not.
Yeah. Probably not. Not gonna happen.
Not unless we buy something for Airbnb rent out or something like that.
No.
Says we are comparing Tiffin Newmar for Class A. I love a Newmar. The thing I like about a Newmar is they have a lot of the same quality. I say they're probably even Steven on a lot of them. the Newmar, I like the way the newer Newmars have the stairs. They're molded together. The stairs are when they come out. Also, the windows on the new Newmar are huge. You know, they're bigger, and we really like. We watched the video on the newer Newmar, and of course, they're all of the computerized dash and computerized stuff, but the windows were huge, and that to me is says a lot. I love that. But their Newmar seems to be a little bit more expensive. I don't know. I may be wrong, but what I've seen. Did he come in?
Yes. The boys
Okay,
in.
great. Boys in. We just love our cat.
Yeah, we
I
do.
tell you what, he's just a big old boy, and he's got such a personality. He really does.
I can't get over how he goes in and out. I heard him meow out there because it's fixing to rain. So
Yeah, he lets us know too. I was telling neighbor said something about he saw him under the coach, and I said, well, he's a mouser.
he's a serial killer, a serial mouse killer.
Yeah,
Guys, thanks
absolutely.
for joining us tonight. We hope we haven't bored you too much. It looks like
Yeah,
we bored Tommy.
please don't think that we're trying to make light of
We're
COVID,
not.
because we are absolutely not. It's very serious. You know, when I heard about that, one of our good friends down here had in a coma for 50 days, it floored me. I mean, we had no idea, because we were on the road and he's down here in South Alabama. I mean, I can't imagine going in the hospital and waking up 50 days later. I mean, you imagine that, a month and almost 2 months later. It just amazes me.
Thank y'all for joining us. Yeah, we do love Moses. I'd like to grab him, but he ran by here real fast going to eat. But anyway, if y'all get a chance, check out our channel. Subscribe to it.
Share it if you would.
Go back.
We're trying to go over 1,000 subscribers, because right now, YouTube basically puts ads on my channel and runs ads in here, and I'm not getting a dime from it because I don't have the 1,000 subscribers. So if they're gonna use, they're going to do this to the channel, I would like to get, even if it's a couple of bucks. You don't make a huge amount of money on YouTube until you get over 25,000 subscribers.
And
but
to those that are RVers, hit us up. Let's see if we can't find each other on the road and, stop and have lunch, or, spend a day together, and just, we're really enjoying RVing. We're really enjoying that app we told you about. Here.
yeah,
We're
and
really enjoying that.
Harvest Host and a lot of things. I'm every time I think about this thing with COVID, I just, everybody wants to get back to normal. I want to get back to normal, get back to where we can have a normal life. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but when you also think about it, when yellow fever and all these other things were going on, of course, they didn't have social media, but they did go away. Show subscriptions for the right. Oh, so yeah, it is. It is. Subscribers are low right now for everything, all the sites. But we're hoping that everybody kind of share us and get out there. We're gonna get Moses here if he'll come over here. Moses, come here, baby. Come here, Mose. Moser. Go pick him up. Go pick him up.
Come here.
Everybody show everybody Moses.
Come here, big boy. Oh, good Lord, you're a big boy.
I told her yesterday when we picked him up and was talking about him that I bet he weighs probably at least 20 pounds. He's a big old boy.
Say, I have my collar on, and it's got my telephone number and my name, and I jingle when I come around, so people know I'm here.
Yeah, he's a mess.
He's a good cat.
He is. I've never really been a cat guy. up until we got Moses, and he just changed me because he's so loving. He's so he's got such a personality, and the dogs get along good with him. Maggie is his buddy for the most part. Maggie, when he comes in, Maggie's got to make sure that's his brother. He'll go over there and smell of him for a minute. All righty, so we're gonna leave you tonight, and we was glad to see everybody, and
We
we
gotta go
hope,
play rummy.
yeah.
Somebody is. I've got him 43 games to 12.
Well, you got to be
Y'all want to
nice
know
to
what he
him.
asked me? He said, "Would you please play the cards? Will you play a game of rummy with me with the cards up so I can see how you do this?" No.
Yeah, I hear you. All righty. Well, thanks for coming, and if you
Maddie, we'll
would,
be
we
praying for your
appreciate
son.
it. Yes, we will be praying for everybody with COVID. We do that every night, but please, if you know any, if you share our videos, we would sure appreciate it. If you're just stopping in, we appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up, or at least uh, subscribe to our channel. We sure would appreciate it. So God bless y'all, and we hope to see you on the road out there somewhere.
Bye, y'all.
Bye now.